And welcome back. We want to welcome Cindy Whitney to our program from Thrive. Thanks for joining us today.
My pleasure, Michael.
You guys have a lot of exciting stuff always going on with Thrive. You're always like in the community and doing great things and kind of keeping people engaged and out there. One of the things you want to do is find out about the multi-generational kind of legacy families going on here in Laguna Woods.
Yes, that's true. We've set out kind of a call for anyone who has been a multi-generational family. In other words, your parents lived here or aunts and uncles, and there's sort of a community.
I was talking to I don't remember, I wish I do, but one of the guests recently was like, oh yeah, my parents lived here, now I moved here. I was like, oh wow, I hadn't really thought about that, but the time has passed enough that it's kind of generational.
And you're right. Once you mention that to somebody, they know somebody that knows somebody. So I said, wait a minute, there's a whole community. It's not that we don't have an excellent history center here. We certainly do, but these are lived experiences.
Right.
This is somebody saying, one day just a herd of cattle came down the main street, and there weren't any clubs. We started, my Aunt Pat went to the tap dance club, and then there was a church club, and all of these different things that have created the community we have today. But what did they start with?
Yeah, so you're looking to get these legacy families, the kind of stories of the old days of what Leisure World as it was back in the early late '60s when it opened and all that. So that's what this whole project's going to be about.
Yes. Starting there, we would love to have the earliest families because that would be great. They said they couldn't even go to a store. They didn't get groceries. They got provisions. It was going to be a while before they went back there. Can you imagine?
Sure.
So yes, we want those people or anybody the website is thriveinthevillage@gmail.com.
Okay, that's the email site that people can email you and contact you.
Yes,
then?
we have two of them up on the screen, and that one is thriveinthevillage@gmail.com. Send it there, and we will, of course, review it, and we will contact you.
Send a note about your history and that kind of thing, and the fact that you had maybe relatives or your family members who also lived here and that.
Exactly, because I think we're going to get a variety of experiences depending on the time, depending where they lived, and did they know each other. But there were a lot of famous people, the parents of famous people that lived here, and bring that forward and just let us imagine the community as it has grown and how it started.
What do you guys see at Thrive about what you're going to do with this information? You get the pokes, you get the compile your list. Here's some people we'd love to talk to. Or is it going to be something that's going to be taped? Are you going to do recorded audio histories?
Right. Yes, exactly. Well, we want to see the response first. And then we want to see, we want to have people on this program. So you may be seeing these folks.
There we go.
And elsewhere, we might record them. We did a similar project with the centenarians.
Okay.
We spoke with them and found out what was their lived history in general. And then, so we would do something like that, because I'm sure there's a lot of really interesting stories.
Absolutely. I'm sure there's people who are living in this community and their parents still live in this community, right? So they go see dad across the street.
Yeah, just clip a microphone to them.
What do you hope in terms of where this will all end up? Will it something these people can go to YouTube and just click on and watch one of these stories, things like that?
Well, there may be a community of people that want to know history of California or Southern California. Maybe who knows what? We don't know. There may be some interesting things that pop up. We see similarities. We see patterns. We see this, and explore it further. It's research.
Yeah. But you see it as something that other people can use and look at for years and years to come.
I think so. I think that would be great. So we were just starting out. We want to see if there's interest. We want to see if people want to contribute to this, and we'll keep in touch with them and say, we have this so far. We're looking for this, so it will evolve.
All right, so let's put that email on the screen again. They're putting out the call, folks. So if you're a legacy family here in Laguna Woods, multi-generational families living here, either past or present, and you know about that, make sure you email the folks at thriveinthevillage@gmail.com, and they're going to collect all this information, and they're going to do something. They're going to do some interviews. We're going to
stay tuned.
Stay tuned for more. But if you're interested in the early aspects of this project, that's what you do. All right. Let's move on to another subject we want to talk about, delirium. We have Dr. David Law, specialist, going to be coming and talking about this.
Well, he has already presented to us.
Presented to you.
Let me back up a little bit. This is the other thing that Thrive does is we have our wonderful quarterly events where we have, the ice cream truck, the ice cream. It's not necessarily healthy food.
Memorial Care's had these things with you guys. You partner with them for a while.
Memorial Care partners with us.
The ice cream socials.
They bring the ice cream social, all of those. But we also have a component of that is a learning component. And we had, for example, we had the emergency physicians come in. We had the heart health. We had cardiologists come in for Valentine's Day because it was appropriate. And so we have, different areas of good health. And this was Dr. David Law, who is a pulmonologist. Now, delirium is not a lung disease. It is a mental disorder, but he has taken it upon himself to create protocols in the Saddleback Memorial Care System for all the nurses to go around and watch for this condition. It's a syndrome or a condition. It's not an illness. And keep in touch with people. Simply putting lotion on their hands at night. Touch people, talk to them, make them laugh, sit there with them, engage with them. This is the thing that can keep delirium from happening, because it can be hyper activity delirium, where the patient is walking, frantically about and saying things and writing things and just, being a little bit out of control, or hypoactivity delirium, where you are withdrawn and inactive and not responding to things. So the nurses have to watch for both of these conditions. Now, ironically, my son is an ICU nurse, so I asked him about this because I was unaware of it. He said, "Oh yeah, that's the major job that we have." He works nights. He said, "I'm always trying to stimulate someone, if they're conscious, to keep them from lapsing into this," and I didn't ever know about it.
So, and obviously the delirium, that is the kind of the manic kind of state that you see people, and that may be a little bit easier to identify, but someone just being quiet is like, okay, that patient's just, and they may not, that can get ignored or just not even noticed, right? Exactly.
And then there's another one, there's a mixed one, where they can sort of toggle back and forth between the two, and that's probably got to be even harder to identify. But that they have to keep in touch, because it's something that, yes, you come out of eventually, and it's usually in a hospital setting or in a setting when you're home and caregivers come to you, but you're alone a lot. So this is where the concern is, that you are not so alone that this can happen to you. And you don't know if it's happening to you.
Yeah, so what's the next thing you guys have coming up with Thrive? You guys, the ice cream social, has that already happened?
Well, we have them quarterly. We just had, we just had one, and that's where Dr. Law came in.
Did I miss the ice cream?
Well, it'll be back. Well, the summer one is the ice cream truck.
There we go. That's the biggie.
Honest to goodness, and they have to earn it. They have to do something inside, and play a game or something, and get checks on it before they can run out and stand in line with the ice cream truck. And everybody is just giddy. They're looking at the sign and say, "I'm going to get a fudgicle, and I'm going to get a creamsicle." So
they have to learn something along the way.
Yeah, learn something. And we have low sugar options for all of these things too. We have pies sometimes, low sugar, no sugar, or whatever. So we try to be healthy.
All right, we'll have you back soon to talk about the ice cream social. It's coming up.
Oh, I love it.
Cindy, thank you so much from Thrive. Welcome.
My pleasure.
Always good to have you.
Thank you so much.
All right, and we'll root out what's going on with the Garden Club when we come back. Stay with us.